Hair cutting scissors, more for just trimming your bangs. As I was looking, my eyebrows are a little out of control. So I thought another great skill that I didn't learn until fairly recently actually is how to trim your own eyebrows. I had one of those electric trimmers, and I'm sure a lot of you do, where you run them over your brows and it cuts it. And I don't know if I'm just a freak of nature or if this happens to everybody, but when I use a brow trimmer, I find that it inevitably leaves me with spots that look kind of bald or parts that are too short. My eyebrows are really thick from here to here, and then they're pretty, I mean, that's mostly just long hairs. There's not a lot of hair actually growing there, which is ironic because I used to have a unibrow that went like all the way down, but I overwaxed, which is a thing. And that's why my brows are so wide set. But you know, brow pencil for the win. So my eyebrows do have to be trimmed, and if I don't trim them, I get these funny little curly hairs, and I kind of look like, I don't know, it looks like an evil villain's mustache, but on my forehead. So I thought, real quick, I would just show you guys, hello bangs, how to trim your eyebrows, because that is also something that you can do on your own and not have to count on a salon to do for you. So I actually haven't trimmed my eyebrows since I got the bangs. So I think the first thing I'm going to need is to go get one more material, and then we'll go over our materials and I will show you how to do it and maybe give you some tips on waxing if you wax. And yeah, okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so materials you will need in case you didn't watch the bang cutting tutorial. Hair cutting scissors. Again, I cannot enforce how important it is to spend $5 at your Walmart or your Sally's Beauty and get at least some cheap hair cutting scissors before you try and do this or anything else with your hair. I have tried doing these things with regular scissors before. It never goes well. Just learn from my experience. Don't do that to yourself. Spend the money on some hair cutting scissors. Use them only for hair cutting. Cat! And cats should not sharpen their claws on my couch when they have cat scratch and post. So, yes, scissors. Second thing, tweezers, because you're probably going to find some random scragglies in there that you need to get rid of while you're doing this. And then for me, these to get my bangs out of my face. I can't tell if I actually trim my bangs crooked or I'm really bad at this looking at the camera as a mirror thing. I'm going to have to go check my bangs in my actual mirror. Anyway, if you have bangs, I'm going to say, even not having done this before, that clipping them back is going to be an absolute must. Just because you really don't want to trim your bangs while you trim your eyebrows. It's not the sort of thing that you want to, it's not a multitasking that I would suggest. So I'm going to pin them on both sides or clip them on both sides just to make double short. And now you know what I look like without my bangs again. So again, the bangs are new. Tell me what you think. Good? Bad? Absolutely don't care. Either way. And the other thing about my face that you may be noticing right now that I am noticing again is that my eyes are shaped differently. So my glasses are actually straight, believe it or not. And this eyebrow is lower than this one. There's nothing I could do about that. That's one of those things you just have to embrace about yourself. I used to get really anxious about that fact, I guess I'm going to have to do this with my glasses on because I don't want to get so close to you guys that all you can see is my big bushy eyebrow. So this is actually really simple, and I'm just going to trim and then probably go do some plucking and then come back and show you because I can't pluck using this as a mirror and I don't have a mirror. Okay, so here's your eyebrow, right? It's an eyebrow. It's a thing. And you can push the hairs up. You see that? You see how, maybe you can see. Let me plug the computer for a little more. If I push up on my eyebrow hair, sorry, the camera is confusing the heck out of my brain, you can see how these hairs stick up. And now, of course, that's normal. Your hair is going to stick up if you push up on it. But this length, if I can put my fingertip on it and see hair over the top, for me, that's too long. That means that my eyebrows have grown too long and I haven't trimmed them in a while. So what I do, and what I think will work for most of you, and again, you know, do this over your sink in your bathroom, or my dog is once again getting way too noisy with his play friend. Hey! Quiet. Oh, just kidding. That was the cat playing with the dog's play date. The dog's probably off taking a nap. He's a grumpy old man. you can do it over your sink, do it over your sink. If you can't do it over your sink, I've still got a paper towel down here to catch the hair. Highly recommend it. Although given how close I'm getting, it's probably going to end up in my keyboard, but the sacrifices we make. So you're just going to take your hair and you're going to push it up like this, right? And then just stop. Take your hair cutting scissors, run them along the top of your finger, and trim. And the reason why I use my fingertip, because okay, I know in a hair salon, they will take a little comb and they'll comb it up like that with water and then they'll just trim it straight across. I do not trust myself. This is kind of like the bang tutorial where I showed you how to use the length that you've already created to help you keep the same length all the way across. I have over trimmed my bangs before when I have not used my finger as a guide. And just like with your bangs, it's a heck of a lot easier to go a little bit shorter later when you realize it was too long than it is to put your eyebrow hairs back on your eyebrows. That's just truth. Although if you do go too short, again, an eyebrow pencil is gonna do tons for you. So don't freak out either way. So yeah, just push the hair up. I can see, again, just these long, scraggly hairs. And they are, you gotta watch out on my ends. Again, know where your eyebrows are thin at and be really cautious around there. Because if I trim too much over here, my eyebrows basically disappear. Like this whole side of my eyebrow disappears. Although you can see, there's a couple of long hairs there. And they just become these long, random hairs. I cannot pluck in this camera, you guys. I can't do it. My brain just cannot handle all of this nonsense. The backwards. Oh my gosh. Can I do it? Can I even go the right direction to get to the hair? I'm feeling along like I can't even see it. Okay, that did not help very much. There's still a long hair there. All right, whatever. I'm not, I said I probably couldn't pluck in the camera and I was right. I will go pluck in the mirror. So some more trimmage. And this is where, for me at least, again, it's thickest over here. So this is where it needs the most trimming. So I'm gonna grab some more of that. And your eyebrows will just lay much nicer after you do that. So as you can see, I mean, even without plucking it, compared to this one, what I haven't trimmed yet, this one just looks a lot neater and tidier. So while I trim the other eyebrow, congratulations on watching that, I will give you some tips about waxing because I did used to wax. Like I said, I used to have a unibrow. It went from here to here, and I had an aunt. Fortunately, I got all that hair from my dad's side of the family, so my mom had no idea how to help me because she had lovely eyebrows. So my aunt took me under her wing and showed me how to use hard wax to wax your eyebrows. I do recommend using hard wax on your eyebrows, even if you would use soft wax or wax strips on your legs or your bikini area, just because I find that it's easier to control having used both types of wax. But if you do use, and you can get hard wax, these little tiny containers that are perfect for your eyebrows. They have them at Sally's Beauty, or at least they did the last time I bought some, which was granted 10 years ago. So, you know, but they should still have them, and you want to be really careful when you warm them up, just because make sure you follow the instructions that come in the little box or on the little tin or wherever, because you can burn yourself pretty easily. And then the other must-have thing for doing your brows with hot wax is petroleum jelly. You need to use petroleum jelly. I stopped using petroleum jelly towards the end, but what you actually use petroleum jelly for is that you put it on your eyelashes, and it feels really weird and really goopy. Or if you have any areas where you know for sure you don't want to pull hair from, like, you know, if you know where you want the front of your brow to be, then you might take a Q-tip with some petroleum jelly on it and just put it right there and like run it across where you know for sure you want your eyebrow to be. The petroleum jelly will keep the hard wax from attaching to your hair, and you won't be able to pull it out on accident. So, I mean, if you don't want to do it on your eyebrows, I could totally understand that. Please do it on your lashes because that stuff drips. And if you are not careful and it drips on your eyelashes are coming out. Like, there's no fixing that. If the hard wax gets on your hair, the hair is getting pulled out. Don't do that to yourself. Just don't do it. So, hard wax you can get at Sally's Beauty, at least last time I checked, and petroleum jelly. And then I always just used a toothpick to pick up some wax and then roll it a little bit, let it get a little cool, because of course right out of the tin it's going to be too hot to put on your skin. And then pull that hair out, baby. The best thing about doing it that way, especially with the hard wax, wow, that was a good one, is that your hair, it will start to pull out the follicles, and eventually they will stop growing back. I mean, you can see that on my forehead, my eyebrow right here. I still have a couple of hairs that grow in, like right down there, and a couple of strays, but overall, I have almost no hair now that grows between my eyebrows. I haven't waxed, like I said, in probably 10 years, and I haven't needed to because trimming is plenty. I already did that eyebrow, Carolyn. Carolyn cannot do this backwards camera thing, as we have clearly established today. All right, got some more trimmage. And as you can see, eyebrows look much better. Now I'm gonna go look in an actual mirror and finish plucking and trimming, and then come back and show you the results. Ta-da! Aren't they beautiful? Okay, yes, I have very thin ends, but like I said, brow pencil, that solves all the problems. So it probably took me another 2 minutes to just finish trimming up and to do some pluckage. The light looks weird. I promise there's not actually extra hairs like growing out of the bottom of that, just the light. Couple of other last tips as far as this goes is whether you are waxing or plucking or trimming or whatever you're doing, only work from underneath your eyebrows. Please do not wax the top half of your eyebrow. Now, if you've got a couple of, random stray hairs that grow up here, which I used to, and you want to pluck those suckers off, please do. But do not work on the top edge of your brow. That is a really good way to absolutely destroy any natural shape or curvature to your brow. And, your brows generally do a pretty decent job of being where they need to be as far as framing your eyes and all that stuff. So be careful. Also, don't go as far out as I did. Like, ideally, you probably want to keep your eyebrows, see where the bridge of your nose comes up? You probably want to keep them. So I should probably have mine another, oh geez, like, again with the backwards, probably another that far in, like 1/2 centimeter. So don't overdo it. Again, and again, and again, and again, and again with hair. It is so much easier to take more off than it is to put it back on. So just proceed with, realistic caution that, and remember that if you do it wrong the first time, it doesn't mean you have to keep doing it that way. It'll grow back. Even if you're doing wax and you're hard waxing and you pull off too much the first time, it's not going to do this to you the very first time you do it. You have to do it a lot of time over, years. So if you wax something you didn't like, if you trim it away you didn't like, relax, it'll grow back. And remember what you did. Write a note to yourself if you have to, a sticky note, stick it on the mirror, and your eyebrows can look beautiful. And if they still need some filling out, you can use a brow pencil, which, like I said in my other video, I am a makeup artist, so maybe that's a tutorial I should do. If you guys are interested, just let me know. And if you have any other questions, simple, basic beauty hacks that you need, these are the basic things that, I don't know, I picked them up over the years, and part of me is like, why didn't I know this when I was like 15? That would have saved me a lot of trouble as a teenager. So that's why I'm sharing them. So yeah, if you can think of any other questions you have, especially regarding makeup, if it involves basic hair stuff and I can answer it, I will. If I can't, I do have my sister, who is the hairstylist, as a resource, and I will totally invite her back so we can do another video if you have more questions. So that is it for She Does Stuff today. Today the stuff has been beauty tutorials, and if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe and share if you found it useful, and I will see you guys next time.